Hey everybody, I'm Scott Wikle. You're listening to My Kind of Country. Thanks so much for joining us on a Monday night. And I'm so happy to welcome my special guest this evening. He is a great champion of country music. He's got the coolest honky-tonk down in Wilder, Kentucky. And he's also just a fantastic singer and songwriter, a true champion for country music. And we're going to play a bunch of his songs tonight. He's been on our show before, and of course, you've heard him a lot on the show, but he's got some new stuff we're going to talk about tonight. I'm excited to have him. It's my honor to welcome Bobby Mackey to My Kind of Country. Bobby, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great, and thank you so much, Scott. It's great to be on the air with you once again.
Well, it's great to have you, and I sure do appreciate all your support of My Kind of Country, and especially all this great country music you are putting out, my friend.
Yeah, I'm really proud of the songs. I'm getting lucky and getting some good songs. I got some more great material that I'm working on right now. I got some new stuff. It's probably some of the best material I've ever done. Anita and I are recording some. This time we haven't done one together with this session, but she did a great song on her own, and it's turned out great, and I'm so proud of her.
That's wonderful. Looking forward to that. To folks that don't know, Anita Mackey is Bobby's daughter and a fabulous singer. She's also been on my show, and we play her music. And she's got some great solo records out and some great duets with her dad. And you guys just recently released a new one, All I Need Is You, which is just fabulous.
Yeah, it's number 2 on the independent charts at the moment. I heard H.D. Ainsworth, our buddy, he's got the morning show on KBEF radio out of Louisiana. I heard him play this song one morning, and I didn't catch who it was, but I loved the melody. And I asked him later, I said, what was that song, that duet you played? He couldn't figure it out, and I kept trying to figure it out, and the next week he happened to play it again, and I got hold of him. I said, that's the song I was looking for. It was Carl Blue and Betty Jean Robinson's song.
Well, that's great. You guys did a fabulous job on it. You sing so well together, and I think there's something about family harmony. You just can't get better than that, you know?
Yeah, there is something about that. But when I heard H.D. play the song, I knew right away it was a song that Anita and I could do, and I got a copy of it and started learning it, and Anita and I started working with it, and I was very sure that we could make it work. So we're proud to have it out there, and it's good in country, that's for sure.
And I love my good in country. That's my kind of country right there.
Yeah, my kind of country too.
Find the loneliest girl in 1,000. Find the saddest eyes you've ever seen.
Find someone who's always longing for you. Find that man and you found me. And all I need is you. All I want is you. To give my loving to. All I need is you. Find a man who wakes up every morning and lives in a world of make-believe.
Find someone whose arms are aching for you. Find that girl and you found me. And all I need is you. All I want is you. To give my loving to. forsake us. I found my heaven here within your arms, and nothing in this world can separate us. You're all I've ever wanted all along, and all I need is you. All I want is you, to give my love into. All I need is you. All I need is you.
Scott, I've been at the nightclub. You mentioned the Honky Tonk, America's Honky Tonk. It's Bobby Mackey's in Wilder, Kentucky. I've been there 44 years. It's going as well right now as it ever has. And I got the nightclub 44 years ago so I could play, I'll use the term, so I could play my kind of country. And it's worked so well. We opened just before the Urban Cowboy thing kicked in, and I got one of those mechanical bulls, and we had a great go around with that, with the Urban Cowboy going on. But what it's all been about is country music. It just, and the way it is around here in northern Kentucky and the greater Cincinnati area, there are not very many places where people can hear country music, and so we kind of got the market cornered on that, and we have great crowds, and people, people just can't get enough of country music.
That's wonderful to hear. BobbyMackeys.com is the website. We'll have that information on our Facebook page for My Kind of Country as well. And I know, Bobby, you've had some pretty big names that have played there over the years, too, including two of my all-time favorites, Haggard and Jones.
Oh, yeah, that boy, I'll tell you what, I had, George was there in, I believe it was January of 81, and had Merle Haggard there January of 82.
Wow.
And several other artists through the years, but those are the two that fascinated me the most. And it was one of those things, I had the opportunity to book George, and I hadn't been there but just about a year and a half in the club, and booked George in there, and through the, being the business person and having to make it work, booking him in there, and it was a big, a big show to put on, and I had to make sure it worked and promoted good and everything. But when the show came about, and when George was introduced to my stage, it hit me right then, and I froze in my tracks, and I couldn't believe that George Jones was singing on my stage in Wilder, Kentucky.
Man, that's great. He showed up for that one, right?
Oh yes, he did, and he was raring to go. He'd been in the hospital down in Florence, Alabama. I knew some members of his band, and that knew that I had the nightclub, and he had just gotten out of the hospital, and some of the Adams boys from up here in Ohio was working with him. They called me, said George needs to work. Want to know if you could book him in there. I booked him with 10 days notice.
Wow.
And we pulled it off and made it work. We sold out 2 different shows.
Well, you must have a pretty good sized stage in there if you got Merle Haggard and the Strangers in there. Boy, he had a big band with him.
Yeah, got some pretty good room there. The nightclub was an old gambling casino back in the 1940s, 1950s. In the early 60s, they closed it up. It was the old gambling casino that was sitting there with nothing going on, and I was able to get a hold of it and clean the dust away and put down some new carpet and put a new face on it, and opened it up in 1978, and it's been great. All 44 years have been great.
That's wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. And you mentioned H.D. Ainsworth. I got to say a big howdy to him. He is a good friend, I know, to you and to me and to country music. And I know he comes up there and does a lot of live broadcasts at your honky tonk. And he's a wonderful guy. So we got to say hi to H.D. tonight.
Yes, we do. And HD is wonderful. And it's always an honor to have him come up to the America's Honky Tonk. And he does a live broadcast for his show when he comes up there, and he'll do a live broadcast on Friday morning, and then he'll MC the show on Saturday night. And it's always a great pleasure to have him with us.
You've got some other great current music that you've released, including a fabulous duet with the great Claude Gray.
Yeah, it was an honor to get to record some things with Claude. Claude was, a big hero of mine. One of my favorite albums I had in the mid '60s, I believe it was. I still got the album. I had him autograph it one time when he was down here, and he was one of my favorite singers. It was such an honor to get to sing. We had the opportunity to do "Cold, Cold Heart," and it turned out well. We got an award for that out at the Texas Country Music Association back in October, I think it was. Claude and I received an award for that song, and then we got to record again. And Claude came up with this song, "Eyes as Big as Dallas," and I just fell in love with the song. He wanted me to sing it with him, so we did it. It's number 13 right now on the independent charts.
And I know he recorded with Anita, too. They did just a fabulous version of "Too Many Rivers."
Yes, they did, and that came together just like, like it was supposed to be,
She comes on as strong as a South Texas wind. She's nobody's lover, just everybody's friend. She has everything any man could need. I found her in Laredo like a Texas tornado. She has eyes as big as Dallas for me. She only has one true heart, and my heart's in her hands. The only way to get to her is through a wedding band. Her angel smile sparkles beneath the Texas skies I see. She's got eyes as big as Dallas for me. They said trying to love her is like taming the wind. But I knew she wasn't wild, she just never gave in. She just wanted to live and remain free. I met her in Laredo, she's like a Texas tornado, and she had eyes as big as Dallas for me. She only has one true heart, and my heart's in her hand. The only way to get to her is through a wedding band. Her smiles and beauty sparkle like the Texas skies I see. She has eyes as big as Dallas for me. Found her in Laredo, she's like a Texas tornado, and she's got eyes as big as Dallas for me.
to you, dear. I know that you want me to,
but too much water has run under that old bridge.
there's too many rivers between me and you. There's too many rivers to cross, dear. Too many dreams have been lost,
And that's too many long nights I've turned and tossed.
there's too many rivers to cross.
Now don't think for a moment I blame only you. We both killed that fruit on the vine.
And when you try to put love back together, there's always a few little pieces you can't find. There's too many rivers to cross here. Too many dreams have been lost, and there's too many long nights that I've turned and tossed. There's too many rivers to cross. There's just too many rivers to cross.
Well, Anita is a beautiful singer too. I really love the stuff that she's doing too, and that's I know that's got to be a really cool thing for a father-daughter connection to have that music together.
Absolutely. She'd been wanting to sing for years. Well, when she was younger, she sang a lot with me, and of course, life took place, and she married and having some kids and raising them, and she just couldn't follow up on it. But when she finally got the kids raised, she said, "Daddy, I want to sing again." And I said, "Well, let's do it." She said, "I don't want to sing nothing but country." So that made me proud, and that's what she's doing. We've recorded a couple of things together. We recorded one together some years ago, back when she was younger, and it was on an album, and we'd just forgotten about it. It was, it was a good country song, but it never got noticed much. And HD had the album that it was on, and he happened to run across it one day, and he called me and said, "Who's this girl singing with you on this song?" I said, "Well, that's my daughter Anita." He said, "Are you kidding me?" He started playing it on his air, and it gave her great encouragement. She's doing great, great singing. She loves it, and we're just enjoying it as much as we possibly can.
Another reason to thank H.D. Ainsworth. I'll tell you, I can't say enough good things about him. He has been so nice to me, and I just can't tell you how much I treasure his friendship.
Yeah, I hear him talking about you every once in a while on the air there.
Oh, he's a good man, let me tell you.
He thinks a lot of you.
Well, the feeling is mutual. That is for sure. Bobby, you released a song last year that just absolutely knocked me out, and not only did you sing it fantastic, but I absolutely love the song, and I know I did real well for you too on the indie charts. It's called "Let Me Drink About It." Tell me about that song.
Wow, okay, yeah, I fell in love with that song. A bluegrass singer, Darrell Webb, and I'd gotten to know him, and he'd come to my nightclub a few times. He was coming down to see me, and of course, Gary Strong, the general manager at WOBO Radio here in just across the river here from where I'm at, Gary Strong was a friend of his, so Gary brought him to the club, and they said, "We got something we want to play for you." There was a guy down where Daryl's from, down around Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and he said, "We got to play this song for you." A friend of his from down there wrote the song, and Daryl and Gary Strong both knew that the song was meant for me, and they played it for me. It was a given. I said, "I got to cut this." So I was real proud that it went number one for me.
What's that you're saying, darling? There must be static on this phone. Sounds like you said you were sorry and want to come back home. Well, if you really mean it, and I'm hearing right, I'll get back to you, 'cause this may take some time. Let me think about it, but right now I kinda doubt it, 'cause I still hear the slamming of the door the night that you walked out. I'll have to pour a few to consider forgiving you. Right now I doubt it, but let me drink about it. You want to waltz back in my life, just like you never left. But I can't make a call like that without a little help. So I'll break out the bottle and confer with the wine. I'll let you know when we make up my mind. Let me drink about it. Right now I kinda doubt it, 'cause I still hear the slamming of the door the night that you walked out. I'll have to pour a few to consider forgiving you, although I doubt it. Let me drink about it. Little darling, I doubt it, but let me drink about it.
You mentioned bluegrass, and I don't know if this is a new album, but it's new to me. We just got it down the pike here from Indie Express, and it's called 10 Shades of Green, and it's a bluegrass project. Tell me about this.
Yes, it is. I recorded that in 2005.
Okay.
And I always loved bluegrass music, and so Dennis Hensley and I, who's been producing me for years, and he had a studio here for years, Jordan Recording Studio, and he and I got together and we produced this bluegrass CD, 10 Shades of Green, and it got a lot of attention, a lot of action, and not long ago, Dina Wood sent me a message about somebody had asked her about this bluegrass CD. It put a bug in our ear, so Dina and I got together and we put it out there. And, it's one of the things that I'm as proud as anything I've ever done with that 10 Shades of Green bluegrass CD. Rhonda Vinson sang with me on 3 three songs. Yeah, she sang "Ashes of Love" with me, and that song "Yard Sale."
Oh yeah. Oh man, I love that. Yeah.
I believe you mentioned that song in a message you sent to me.
I sure did. That's probably my favorite on the album. I love that song anyway when Sammy Kershaw did it, and then when I heard your version, man, it's such a great take on that.
It's Rhonda Vincent singing with me on it.
Oh wow, that's great. Yeah, we're definitely will play that tonight for sure. And I love Boogie Grass Band too. I've always loved that song. Ronnie Reno was on my show some years ago, and we talked about that. Of course, he wrote it, and of course Conway Twitty had a big hit with it too.
We were in the studio recording it. We were down at Hilltop down in Nashville, and just so happened Ronnie Reno was working in the same building, and he stopped by the studio and stuck his head in to say hello to the engineer that was there. He stuck his head in, and lo and behold, we were working on that song at that moment.
Is that right? No kidding.
Boogie Grass Band. It was really a weird feeling. He didn't know I was doing the song. He stuck his head in, and we were working on it.
I'll be darned. Well, Bobby, what else is coming up for you this year? What have you got in the works that you can share with us tonight?
Well, I'm going to be taping the Penny Gilly show for RFD TV.
Oh, great.
I'm taping that to be aired this year. I'm taping it February 6th out in Little Red's Longhorn Saloon out in Fort Worth, and I'm happy to be doing that. Actually, I've been pretty busy, busier than I've ever been, and country music is never far from my mind, and I'm always working on new songs, and I'm recording some new things, and just keep plowing ahead,
Well, I think that's great. And I'll tell you what, as long as I'm on the air, your music will always have a home here at My Kind of Country. I guarantee you that.
I appreciate it, Scott. Thank you very much.
Well, it's been an honor having you on the show. BobbyMackeys.com is the website, and the new Bluegrass album is 10 Shades of Green. We're going to play some songs off of that tonight for you. And
Facebook. Don't forget about Facebook.
Yep, absolutely. We'll put that information out there so people can get in touch with you. And if you're down in the neck of the woods of Wilder, Kentucky, make sure you go and see America's Honky Tonk down there. And I guarantee you're going to hear some real country music the way it should be.
Well, great visiting with you again, Scott, and I appreciate all you do, and we'll talk again soon.
I look forward to it, Bobby. Thank you again so much for all your support for My Kind of Country and all this great music. It's been an honor having you on the show, my friend.
Thank you very much.
The cardboard sign says yard sale. The real estate sign says sold. The family picnic table holds all that it can hold. Ain't it funny how a broken home can bring the prices down? In the grass and on the sidewalk, there must be the whole town, and they're sorting through what's left of you and me. Paying yard sale prices for each golden memory. Oh, I wonder what you'd say if you could see how they're sorting through what's left of you and me. Summer dresses in the backyard on the line. A lady just brought them to me. She said, I think they'll fit just fine. wagon and a mirror from the hall. Better take just one more look before they take it all. They're sorting through what's left of you and me, paying yard sale prices for each golden memory. Oh, I wonder what you'd say if you could see how they're sorting through what's left of you and me. Oh, I wonder what you'd say if you could see how they're sorting through what's left of you and me. There's a new kind of music going round. It's known as the boogie grass sound. So grab your partner and swing her around and dance to the boogie grass sound. I'd love to hear Bill sing about Kentucky and the Allman Brothers, Ramblin' Man. We put the music all together, so dance to the boogie grass band. My daddy played the banjo and saw the fiddle too. Taught me how to sing and play for you. I've got bluegrass in my soul and rhythm in my feet, so dance to the boogie grass beat. I love to hear Bill sing about Kentucky and the Allman Brothers, Ramblin' Man. We put the music all together, so dance to the boogie grass band. Sing about Kentucky and the Allman Brothers, Ramblin' Man. We put the music all together, so dance to the boogie grass band.